Hey guys, so I am out here at Sam Houston Forest, going out to some public land. We've been hunting this little area out here for, well, this will be my third year out here. Got a buddy out here that hunts the same area, has been hunting a few years more than me. Fixing to go out, do a little scouting. Got some areas that we hunted at last year. Gonna go check those out and then maybe try out another area or two just to scope it out and see what's out there. And gonna put up a mock scrape drip so we can get some bucks coming in on some trails that were active last year. See if we can find those same trails and see if they're active this year. So just stay tuned and we'll show you what we're up to. Alright guys, so we're on the way to one of our kind of closest hunting spots. You can see kind of back in this marsh area where the hogs have been coming in and rooting everything up. It looks like the game trail that I followed in here is still pretty clear for the most part. And gonna keep heading back here and see what we find. Alright guys, so I'm back in my area. I found a lot of deer sign already. Mosquitoes are killing me out here. So this area right here, if you look behind me back there, all that back there on the other side of this little brush right here is all kind of a big pine plot, and it's real grown up underneath, so it's a really good bedding area. Now coming back right here, this tree that I found, I got a nice sized pine tree right here, and this pine tree actually overlooks, if you can see back down in there, there's a creek running through here, and the deer are coming through that creek and traveling, and then they are also coming, if you can see right here, there's got this gully that's going down to the creek. Let me see if you can see it. There you go. So you see this gully back down in here. So these deer are traveling up this gully, coming right back up here, and there's a trail right back there. It's pretty clear. I'll show you in a minute. But I'm going to come back over here after I lock up my tree stand and hide it a little bit. So whenever we do mock scrapes out here in Sam Houston Forest, these little trees right here that have these limbs, these are the trees that I always see scrapes underneath. So I'm going to come over here and set up my scrape and try to do a scrape right here on this trail and see if we can get some bucks coming in through here. And hopefully on the first weekend that I get out to do some bow hunting, I can nail something coming through here. Alright guys, so I'm back at this tree right here. As you can see, it's got several tall limbs up there. It's got a few down here on the bottom. I always try to find a tree that has some low-lying limbs because that's what they're going to rub their antlers on to leave their scent marker. So what I have here, I've got a Magnum scrape dripper. I've got some Doe Estrus Code Red. I've heard Code Blue also works really well for this. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill this up. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to tie it up as far as I can, probably up to like this branch right here, so it drips straight down. And then right here on the ground, I'm going to get a stick and I'm going to make a fake scrape. So I'm just going to scrape out about 1.5 foot circle. Just kind of scrape it real good. It'll look like antlers have been rubbing in it, and then start letting this this dripper drip on the scrape, and it'll start bringing those bucks in to come and check the scrape. And it also brings some doe in, so I already know there's doe tracks coming through here. Bow season you get a doe or a buck, so we'll see what we can do. Alright guys, so I just want to show you, this is up the trail a little bit. You can see how it's kind of open, but then back over there, it's all really grown up in the pine trees. Now this little sapling right here is one of the saplings that I put a deer scraper on last year and made a mock scrape. So you can see one of the first times that I came back, they really came and hit this tree real hard. We didn't tag anything in this area, so we know there's still something roaming around back in here. At least we think so. We don't know. Somebody else could have got it. but this scrape was going most of last year for the season. We got a couple pics on cam of some doe, but we never got this buck coming through here. So hopefully we can tag it this year. But this just kind of shows you those mock scrapes do work, and they will bring in some bucks. Alright guys, so took a hike way back here in the woods. There's a crap load of mosquitoes. Way back here is oak bottom that we've hunted before. This is actually where I stuck my first deer. We've had several other people that have pulled deer out here before. There's a creek running through the kind of the back side of it, but all back through here going that way, it's this big oak bottom. Usually there's a big buck scrape back in there. So I'm going to kind of go back in there and check it out. But I think before I do that, I'm going to spray myself down with some more mosquito spray, because these things are crazy back here. Alright guys, so I made it out of the swamp. Kept going on the trail for a ways. It's been a long time since I've been this far back here. It's like a couple miles back. But right here through this opening right here is actually a field, like a big field for a farmer. You can see where something's been walking through here, so I'm suspecting that's probably deer going out there to feed. Still a lot of mosquitoes out here. So later on in the year, when it's a little cooler and I don't get so hot and sweaty coming back here, this is probably going to be a good spot to either come for early morning hunt or a late evening hunt, and just work this path. So there's a trail going that way, and there's a trail going back the way that I came. So this might be a pretty good spot. Put up in one of these trees and watch this opening right here, any other ones that I find along the way. See if I can tag one of these deer coming through this funnel. Alright guys, so just a tip. I'm heading back to the car now. Ran this fence line as far as I could run it until the fence, the field stopped, and it started going back down into the bottom. It looks like there's a creek down there. I don't feel like going down there. All I hear is the buzz of mosquitoes. Pretty far back here right now. Walking back here with the stand is going to be a pain, but it looks like it's going to be worth it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to find a spot where I want to put a stand up, find a good tree, go ahead and mark it in my GPS, and then I'm going to start a timer, and I'm going to hike all the way back down the trail, the fastest trail that I know, to the car, and see exactly how long it takes me. And then that'll give me a good idea to know, probably add about 20 minutes, 30 minutes to that time. And I know what time I need to get here in the morning before sunrise, so that I can make it back out here and into the stand and have, you know, a little bit of time before the sun starts coming up. That way the deer are still sleeping. I won't disturb them too much, and hopefully they won't hear me until they hear that bowstring twang. But I will see y'all back at the car. Alright guys, well, made it back to the car. It took me about a 40 minute hike to get from the funnel that I found on the back side of the forest and the field back to where we park at. So it's been a pretty long hike back in there. Definitely gonna have to be a cool day, or a day where I can just take my time getting back there and hunt in the evening and walk back out something like that, or just not even care if I get out there at first light and just get up in a stand. But probably try to stage my stand going further back into the forest as the season progresses. I know not as many people hunt the bow season, so shouldn't be as pressured as close as I am right now. So we'll see, and thanks for coming on the ride, guys, and we'll stay tuned for more.